Right after I bought my wedding dress, a devastating news hit me. My mom was admitted to the hospital and she asked my brother to keep it a secret from me because she didn't want to make me worried and interrupted my wedding planning. What we thought would be just an overnight stay at the hospital turns into 3 long distressing months, the darkest and scariest time of my life.
From hospital, so she doesn't need to worry that next time.
Mum has a blood disorder condition called MDS, which requires monthly blood tests to manage her symptoms and make sure she gets timely blood transfusion when needed. So one night, she got a call from the hospital after her blood test done in the afternoon, saying she needed to come into the emergency department straight away. After the blood transfusion and more thorough testings, she was diagnosed with a kidney infection. She has many abscesses in very tricky and hard to get to areas in her kidney. This makes surgery a very complicated procedure, therefore it wasn't recommended. The treatment team think it's safer to drain the abscess by putting the tubes inside her kidney. At the same time, she's on multiple antibiotics in the hope of keeping her infection in check. Mom has always been the strongest person I've known. She's not afraid of anything. She takes care of our family so well, but always forget how to take care of herself. She's selfless and puts other people first. She doesn't get sick easily because she's too busy caring for other people. Even during her stay in the hospital, when she was really sick, she wanted me to help translate so that she could ask the doctor about her cousin's symptoms and treatment. My mom is that kind of woman who lives for others. Despite our conflicting views on some particular subjects of life, Mom has always been a very important person to me. But little did I know how significant of a role she actually plays in my life until this whole incident happened. I used to think I know what pain is after a few heartbreaks and especially my parents' divorce. But no, I don't. Seeing her health diminishing every day and her body getting more frail during those 3 months is beyond agony. I don't remember how many times we receive a call from the hospital saying her blood pressure is dangerously low and we should come to see her straight away before it's too late. The thought that I might lose her anytime was the scariest feeling I have ever experienced. I feel so useless, hopeless, because there was nothing I can do. I pray to God to keep her alive in exchange for my life, because really, without her, I wouldn't be here in this world.
Birthday, mẹ biết năm nay sinh nhật mẹ mấy tuổi không?
Năm bảy.
Sáu bảy.
67 chứ 57 gì?
Nói quá khùng. Rất là anh hai.
67, 3 năm nữa là tròn số.
Happy birthday mẹ.
I blame myself for not seeing her as often as I can when I moved out of home. I regretted all the times I raised my voice at her during our arguments. I hated myself for not being able to provide for her financially, take her on nice trips, buy her expensive things that she deserves. What if tomorrow I will never get a chance to do all the things I wanted to do with her? I can't think of planning my wedding anymore. I dropped everything I was doing and just try to be with her as much as I can at the hospital. Since COVID, the hospital tightens restrictions for visitors. A patient is only allowed 2 visitors a day. It was difficult for our family because Mum has a very close-knit family with 8 siblings, all of whom deeply care and worried about her. Due to COVID and the nature of her infection, we needed to be extra careful when visiting her at the hospital. She was in and out of ICU a few times. She lost about 6 kilograms and all pale and frail. I can't explain with words how seeing her in that state broke my heart. I never realized this before, but the thought of losing a parent is like losing a part of myself, my safe home, where I can come back for protection and comfort after a long, tiring day doing life, where I can completely be myself without being judged, where I can receive unconditional love that no other human being can offer. Where do I go back to when life gets too hard? Why does it have to happen so soon? Why did Mom fall sick when I'm planning my wedding? A wedding without her presence, can it still be the happiest day of my life? She still hasn't seen her grandkids yet. Please God, please let her stay in my life for as long as she can, so she can shower her grandkids with the same love that she has for me. Everything happens for a reason. I used to be a firm believer of that saying until Mom got sick. I thought, what kind of messed up reason is it that you want to take my mom away before my big day? After days and nights of reflecting and clearing my mind, I still think this incident happened as a reckoning call to help me reflect on my relationships with others, especially with my family. I'm one of those who hold family dear to my heart, but I never express it or show it the right way. If you look at my actions, I spend more time with friends on the weekends and choosing fun over family gatherings, thinking my family is always there, so what's the rush? If you like me, please take this opportunity to reflect on the following questions and decide for yourself. How old are your parents? How many more years do you think you get to see them? Do you know how many times when you were sick as a kid, your parents stayed up all night taking care of you, gave up seeing their friends just to stay with you? Maybe countless. Consider yourself extremely lucky if your parents are still around and well. Say I love you to them as much as you can now while they can still hear it. Spend as much time as you can with them now while they can still join you, because you will never know what tomorrow holds.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
God has finally listened to our prayers. Mom was discharged from the hospital and went home on her birthday in November. Her infection is still there and she will be on lifelong antibiotics, but we're just grateful to have her back. I don't know how much longer we can be together, but I'll make sure every single second counts, and we'll create more happy memories together for as long as we can.